A strange rainstorm forms over a farm in Nebraska. Bryan and Finola discover it has changed things drastically. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing Debris Episode 4 in Universe. So the episode starts out with pouring rain. It's pouring heavily on this farm, and we see a man's doing paperwork, and then he looks over and watches his fire go out. So we can tell that it's a little, it's like colder weather, and they're trying to keep warm, but the fire suddenly goes out, and he starts coughing. So that once he's done coughing, he goes out and looks out the window as he's seeing everybody else start to cough and hack up, and then they go back to normal. So nobody really thinks of anything of it, but he tries to leave. And then after Bryan and Finola, arrive on scene, we see that they have already started to examine the bodies that they found outside the rain of the people who died. And the coroner who's doing the autopsies said that they died from asphyxiation. And when they show you like a picture of their chest, it looks kind of weird, like almost like it was, like there's some poison stuff through them. And they do mention that. So Bryan and Finola ask like how this is possible, as nothing has changed like outside of the rain, of the rain, other than the rain going on in just this central location, they're like, how could this be? How could they, just die from suffocation, and they really can't answer that. So they start talking about like, is the atmosphere inside the rain different than outside the rain? And, they literally don't know, so they have to go and investigate. So they decide to go into the rain, but they go in fully sealed suits, like almost like a spacesuit, with its own oxygen, things like that. So they go through and they start to investigate, and along the way in the cornfield, they Finola picks a flower, puts it in a jar, and then, takes it back with her and stuff. But they find all the workers are huddled in like a botanical garden. There's a lot of plants and stuff, and there's it's indoors. So they find them there, and they start asking them questions, and they find out that there was some kind of noise like in the middle of the night. Some people got up, and it was hard for them to breathe after that. So Bryan and them split up, and Bryan finds a piece of debris along with a kid who's been hiding, and so he brings the kid back to the family and everything, and he's like, all right, so we found the debris. Now we've got to deactivate it before like this rain storm spreads anyplace, so that's kind of what he's worried about. And as Bryan, as like this is going on, Finola is examining the flower from the farm, and she discovers some disturbing facts from it, like how it's not getting nutrients from photosynthesis, and she ends up going and telling Bryan that if they move the debris, the people may end up dying, and they can't do that. She's really passionate about saving these people, and Bryan is, he isn't. He's more worried about it spreading to other areas and affecting more people. So he understands where she's coming from, but he's also like, we need to stop this from spreading, so we need to shut down this piece of debris. And she, Finola comes up with a crazy idea to try to like save these people before they shut the debris down. And Bryan's really not on board, but he doesn't have a choice, as she went to his supervisor Maxwell and had it all has it all set up. The scenes that really stood out to me were the ones where Finola was telling Bryan that they, again, they needed to find a way to save these people. And about telling the truth, because somebody does come on site that they don't expect. So she's got to decide if she's going to tell that person the truth of what's going on versus lying about it. And the other scene is really that I liked was she gets a phone call from her. I'm not even sure what the lady's name is, so I do apologize. But her MI6 supervisor, and you can really see that Finola's very upset about the information that she gets told, and she really doesn't treat Bryan very well after this. So, it's like the cat might be out of the bag and everything for what he's keeping from her. And, those are the scenes that really stood out to me. There's only like one really major sci-fi effect in this, and that's towards the end of the episode where they put like a field around the farm workers. And the rest of it is more practical effects with the rain and things like that. So they kind of dropped down the the effects for like the debris in this episode. I feel like to really focus more on the drama aspect, which I mean isn't bad per se, but at the same time, you should be able to find a balance for both of them to be able to intermix them just right to do it, because I think the three first episodes were pretty good with doing that for the most part. I mean, they did start leaning more towards the drama as we went along, but we still got a good amount of sci-fi effects with the drama. And I thought the acting in this was really good, to be honest with you. Finola, again, is very passionate about like her trying to save these people and what they're trying to accomplish, and she's trying to get Bryan to see her point of view. And Bryan, on the other hand, is trying to get her to understand that they can't really like save everybody, and they also can't allow like something like this and what's going on to spread because it'll affect more people. So they're kind of bringing a dynamic where he's more, let's get things done, shut it down ASAP, while she's like, we gotta be more humane than that, because we can't just go around doing stuff without really weighing the consequences of it. And that's what I got out of this. That's how I feel about it. So I thought that was pretty good overall. The episode doubles down on its human drama factor, basically, and not so much of the sci-fi like effects, like, and elements. Like the sci-fi elements of this kind of went to the back seat for the drama part of it. So they kind of took like they were secondary in this episode versus like the last episodes where they were more front row. So I kind of was a little disappointed in that, but at the same time, this still was a good episode. And this piece of debris is not tied to emotions either, which I actually really liked, because the first three debris pieces were linked to human emotions. So I thought they might actually make a running theme for this throughout the season. But the fourth episode's debris piece has nothing to do with emotions that they hinted at anyways. So I actually did like that. I thought that was very good. So I hope they keep that going. I hope they keep showing us like actually different effects of the debris and not just emotions or like almost like terraforming, I guess, or atmospheric changes. Maybe they'll throw us in something that is actually some type of weapon, because as they're doing the recap, we hear Maddox say that, some people are calling this an arms race, so let them call it an arms race. And I'm like, well, but is it an arms race? I'm like, what are these pieces that you've already collected that you're not telling us about? Like, what are the facts? So, again, I thought this was pretty good. I hope they do find a way to be able to get a balance between the sci-fi elements and the drama going forward. Hopefully they don't just sideline one for the other in this, but I honestly I liked it. I would give this at least an 8 out of 10. This was a good episode. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and also subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Take care for now, everybody.